Hi, I'm Brooke, and this is Pippa. We travel full-time out of our Honda CRV, and we want to welcome you to join us on our journey. I want to talk about where we park. So, I get the question all the time, do the police bother you? Do you get woken up at night? Do you ever feel unsafe? And honestly, I don't, because I make sure to park in legal places to park. I've mentioned it a few times, but I basically travel full-time like I am on one big long camping road trip. So I do not stay in a city and try to stealth camp in my car. I'm not trying to park in residential neighborhoods. I'm not trying to stay in hotels, parking lots. I'm not trying to stay in hospital parking lots. I'm not trying to stay at the same truck stop over and over again. So I don't ever get bothered because I follow the rules of wherever I'm camping. So 99.9999999% of the time, I sleep at and park at national forest or BLM or state-owned public land. So what that usually means is that they are designated camping places that are free for anybody in the US to use, not just for, you know, people who are camping or living in their vehicles or who are traveling or anything like that. They're free for everybody to use, and they're really easy to find. They have maps of them everywhere. It just depends on which ones have cell phone service and things like that. But usually the stay limit is 14 days. So you can stay in the same spot for 14 days and then you have to move on. So usually you can't stay more than 14 days in a 30-day period. So that's just how I choose to camp, because they are popular spots that have gorgeous views. I don't have to pay for them. They're free, and I can stay there multiple nights in a row without having to continue to move on every time, because I do still have a job. I do still need to log into work and to make sure I have cell phone service and be kind of stationary for a little bit at a time. And that's just how I choose to do it. So how I find these places is usually on the app Campendium. So Campendium is an app that I think mostly RVers use, but I got used to using it when I was in the RV, and I've just kind of stuck with it now that I've been in the car, because on Campendium people can review the spots. They will give you like little bits of information that you might not know. They'll correct the coordinates in the comments. They also have a feature where you can overlay cell phone service maps over top of the map that you're looking at, so I can tell if I'm going to have okay service there. And it just makes things a lot easier. I know that these are popular spots that lots of people have been to, so if there are any issues, they usually show up in the reviews, and they're spots that pretty regularly get updated. I do use iOverlander as well. I know that one's very popular with a lot of van lifers, but I have found some iOverlander spots that maybe, like when I've gotten there, they have been marked closed, that there are now no parking signs and things like that. So I always kind of cross-check between iOverlander and Campendium, but I usually go back to Campendium. I use iOverlander a lot more to find showers, water, and things like that. So I know that that one's a popular one. It's just not my favorite because I haven't found it to be as reliable, and people usually don't update or review it as often as people do on Campendium. Obviously, if I am on a longer road trip, if I'm trying to get from one place to another pretty quickly and I'm doing a longer haul of a road trip, I will stay at truck stops and Pilots and Loves and things like that. I find their apps to be super helpful and to show which ones are a little more safe. I only really stay at the ones that have RV services, because then I know for sure that overnight parking is allowed there for vehicles as well, and they usually have designated spots, so you feel like you're not going to get interrupted in the middle of the night. Obviously, like other people, I've stayed in my fair share of Walmart parking lots or Cracker Barrels, but usually those are just kind of like one-offs, and just if I'm making a long haul kind of road trip, I will stay at those, because you just don't get the best night's sleep. There's people around you. People run, you know, their trucks all night, or people are loud and coming in and out of the convenience store, opening and closing car doors. It's just not as peaceful than sleeping out at a campsite. So I just tend to stick with those campsites and go from there. And I will see you guys on the next one.